What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to another video here on the channel. Today we are talking the NASCAR 2024 season today. It's going to be a very big season, 2024, and these are my picks for the playoffs here in 2024. Quick context, as you can kind of tell by my eyes and my voice right now, I am very ill. Oh god, it like really sucks. I have like 3 different layers on and my back is still cold and I have a heater on behind me. Like, dude, I'm struggling out here. Probably justify some of my picks, to be honest. Spoiler alert, there are some controversial ones, but yeah, so I hope you enjoyed these playoff predictions, guys. I'm gonna go through who I think is gonna miss the playoffs, be in the round of 16, round of 12, round of 8, and championship 4, and who will win the championship at Phoenix. Spoiler alert, I'll probably be coughing and struggling to survive throughout this whole video, so just leave a like if you enjoy the video, and I'm gonna push through as best I can, man. I'm struggling to hold my eyes open right now, to be honest, but without further ado, let's get into it. Well, ladies and gentlemen, here you are. Here are my picks for the playoffs in 2024. Now, let's start off with a few very controversial ones. I mean, well, we'll start off with everyone I thought was going to miss the playoffs. Austin Cindric, just can't see it. No speed last year. Maybe sneaks a win at a super speedway or road course, but can't see it. Same with Austin Dillon. Unlike Austin Cindric, showed virtually no speed. But whenever he was up front, he crashed. So can't see Austin Dillon making the playoffs. To be honest, I could see a win for Corey LaJoie at Atlanta. I could very well see that, but I don't think it's going to happen. Chase Briscoe, I think Chase Briscoe, as much as he is the man of the flagship Stewart-Haas team, or the man carrying the flag for Stewart-Haas right now, I mean, I just don't think he's going to sneak a win this year. Yes, I have 2 other Stewart-Haas drivers in the playoffs. That is probably a surprise to many of you. I will explain later when we get to them, but I don't think Chase Briscoe makes the playoffs. Kaz Grala, he's driving for Rick Ware, speaks for itself. Josh Williams and AJ Allmendinger, they're running for Xfinity points, so I can't really put them in the playoffs for Cup. Now, this is a controversial one. Chris Buescher. To be honest, guys, I have 14 winners, and Chris Buescher wasn't one of them. I know he had 3 wins last year. I know he made the round of 8, but I can see Brad having an up year, but I can see Chris Buescher having a down year. So, in my opinion, I think Chris Buescher misses the playoffs. Harrison Burton misses the playoffs as well. It's Harrison Burton. Sorry, man, but you're struggling big time. Bubba Wallace. Now, if Bubba Wallace can win, I think he definitely makes the playoffs. I really do. But I just don't think Bubba Wallace is going to get a win, and I think the guys above me are going to, other than 2 of them. I will explain that later, but Daniel Hemrick, Colleague is on a downward swing right now. I think Hemrick misses the playoffs. I don't think McDowell gets a win this year either. I think both of the front row cars will be pretty consistent this year, but I just don't think they'll have the final push to get to the playoffs. Ryan Preece misses the playoffs as well. I'd love to put Preece there. He's a dope guy. Love Ryan Preece, but unfortunately, I don't have Ryan Preece in the playoffs. Same with John Hunter Nemechek. I think Legacy going to Toyota is a very good move, but I think in his first season back in Cup, I don't think John Hunter Nemechek will be in the playoffs. I expect some very good runs out of Nemechek, but I don't expect him to be as consistent as he was in Xfinity or Trucks. Ricky Stenhouse up next. Yeah, man, I don't see Stenhouse winning a super speedway this year. Maybe he could have won Bristol Dirt if they were still there, but no dirt race this year. Alex Bowman up next. Now, Alex Bowman. I mean, I just haven't seen the same Alex Bowman since he came back from injury. I wouldn't call myself an Alex Bowman fan by any means, but I also wouldn't call myself a hater of Alex Bowman. I want to see Bowman do well, and I just don't think he's gotten back to himself mentally since his sprint car accident. But sorry, Alex Bowman. Justin Haley driving for Rick Ware. Sorry, boss. Cool paint scheme, by the way, and good job in the Clash. Zane Smith, I don't think anybody has Zane Smith in the playoffs unless he's winning a super speedway. Same with Carson Hocevar. I think it's going to be a great year to build for the 2 Spire rookies, but I don't see any of them making the playoffs. And Daniel Suarez, he could very well go win anywhere, really, but I just don't think Trackhouse have fast enough cars to get Suarez in the playoffs, especially with the guys I have here up above. But now that that's done, I'm going to talk about the round of 16 drivers. So let's go. I'm going to talk about who I'm moving on here first, and then I will mention, what will I say? Let's just go. Yeah, so, like, I'll say if I think Chastain's going to make the round of 12, I'll put him there. And I'll just advance everyone who I think is going to make it to round of 12. And the guys who aren't in the round, I don't think will make the round of 12, will stay in the round of 16. So, let's get to the round of 16. All right, ladies and gentlemen, so here are my picks for the round of 12. Advancing through, I have Ross Chastain, Kyle Larson, Brad Keselowski, Kyle Busch, Chase Elliott, Denny Hamlin, Ryan Blaney, Martin Truex, Christopher Bell, Joey Logano, William Byron, and Tyler Reddick. Exiting from the round of 16, I have Josh Berry, Noah Gragson, Eric Jones, and Ty Gibbs. So let's talk about Josh Berry. I think, here's the thing with Josh Berry. I think he's going to win a short track this year. And personally, I think he's going to win Richmond. I really think he's going to steal one of the Richmond races. Whether it's through strategy, through Rodney Childers, I think Josh Berry's going to steal a win. And I don't think he's going to be in the playoffs, but I think Josh Berry will steal a win at a short track or a super speedway this year. He's a good, consistent driver. If I was starting a team, I would definitely want Josh Berry as one of my drivers. I really do. I really like Josh Berry. And I think he's going to be one of the cars who takes Stewart-Haas to the playoffs. So, good for Josh. I don't think Stewart-Haas are fast enough to make it to the round of 16 or round of 12 yet, but I think getting 2 cars in the playoffs would be phenomenal for Stewart-Haas Racing, considering how they've been in the next-gen car. Noah Gragson in the round of 16. Why did I say Noah Gragson? I think Noah Gregson's going to win the Daytona 500. I'm sticking by that pick. I think Noah Gregson's going to win the Daytona 500. Why do I think Noah Gregson's going to win the Daytona 500? Because one reason, storylines. I think you've seen it with Larson, you've seen it with plenty of other drivers in the past. I think Noah Gragson will have the next redemption story, and I think the best part of his season will be taking home the Harley J. Earl Trophy from Daytona International Speedway. I think that is going to be a phenomenal achievement for Eric Almirola, Noah Gragson, and yeah. I don't think he's fast or consistent enough to make the round of 16. Maybe he steals a win with the tracks in the round of 16. I know they got Atlanta, Watkins Glen, and Bristol. Maybe he steals a win at one of those tracks, but yeah. I got Noah Gragson winning the 500. Tell me all about it, what you want, but speaking of which, of another driver I think that's going to win is Eric Jones. I think Eric Jones will win a race this season. Legacy are now a Tier 1 team with Toyota. They're getting top tier supporting, and I think the pace that Eric Jones showed at the end of the season is going to buy him a win at either Darlington or Daytona. I know it's the 2 tracks he's won at before. I could definitely see Eric Jones winning the Southern 500 or the Darlington spring race. I really can. But I've got Eric Jones winning somewhere and getting to the round of 16. I think that would be a great step up for Jimmy Johnson, Richard Petty, and everybody at Legacy Motor Club. But for now, Eric Jones makes the round of 16. Ty Gibbs in the 54. I think Ty Gibbs will be one of 2 drivers that points their way into the playoffs. I'll talk about the other one in a bit, because I do have him going out in the round of 12. But I do think Ty Gibbs will make the playoffs this year. I think he was one of the... Honestly, Ty Gibbs was one of the top 10 drivers in the field. Maybe top 10. He was top 15 for sure towards the end of last season. And Ty Gibbs showed you what he can do in the Clash. Like, Ty Gibbs is a really good driver. I know a lot of people don't like Ty Gibbs, but still, I think Ty Gibbs is very capable of pointing his way into the playoffs, even with 2 point spots. The rest of these drivers, I think, are going to win, apart from one. But Ty Gibbs, I do think Ty Gibbs will point his way into the playoffs. And yes, I do think the new Toyota body will help them out a lot. I think with Ford, some it'll help more than others, as you could see by no playoffs for you tier, but no playoffs for you. But yeah, I'm going to switch some guys around and talk about my drivers exiting in the round of 12. All right, here is my round of 12 eliminations. We have Ross Chastain, Brad Keselowski, Kyle Busch, and Chase Elliott. Now, let's talk about the drivers I have in the round of 12. So, I think Ross Chastain will be the other driver that points his way into the playoffs this year. I think Ross Chastain is too consistent to not make the playoffs, but I can't see Chastain going that deep like last year, because I mean, the only race that I've seen Chastain really have a consistent speed at since that Larson debacle at Darlington was Phoenix. And he good on him. He won Phoenix. He beat the champion, and the champion's got to win it race. Good for Ross Chastain, but I don't think Ross points his way past the round of 12 this year. Maybe if Trackhouse get better cars, but I just think Ford and Toyota being able to improve will hurt the likes of Trackhouse and some cases here that you'll see later on in the playoffs. But later on in this prediction video. But Brad Keselowski, another driver I have missing the playoffs. Mainly, or not missing the playoffs, but missing the round of 8. Just because I think Ford will have a slight decline this year. I mean, I don't think they'll be as good as they were last year, but because every time Ford's brought a new car, they haven't shown me that they can be fast right out the gate. And I think Brad Keselowski will take flagship of RFK this year. It's his team. He's going to want to put things right. I think Chris Buescher makes the playoffs, and I do think Brad Keselowski gets a win and makes the playoffs. Even if he doesn't win, I could see Keselowski pointing his way in, but Brad K goes out in the round of 12, unfortunately. Kyle Busch. I think Kyle Busch will have a great beginning of the season. I think Spring Bristol is going to be tailor-made for Kyle Busch now it's back on concrete. I think him and Larson will have a great battle in that race, but I can't put Kyle Busch in the round of 8, considering what I seen at the end of last season. I just can't. I can't put Kyle Busch in the round of 8. As much as I would love to as a KFB fan, I just can't do it. I really can't. I mean, I certainly hope Kyle makes a championship 4 and gets back to his old form, but I can't see it this year, unfortunately. And my last driver out in the round of 12 is Chase Elliott. I mean, I definitely think Chase is going to have a better season than last year. I think Chase can sneak a win or two at a road course, maybe a normal mile and a half. I can see Chase having a very good bounce back season. I think 2 or 3 wins for Chase Elliott is not out of question, but I see Chase having a good start to the year, and then once the new Toyota and Ford start to find the rhythm a bit, I think he's going to slide downhill a little bit. And maybe since the injury, he's forgotten how to put a full season together. So I think this is a step in the right direction for Chase Elliott, but it's not where Hendrick Motorsports wants him to be. All right, time for the round of 8. Let's go. All right, here are my drivers going out in the round of 8. And I should mention these are in no particular order. I'm just going off numerical order here. But Kyle Larson, I think, goes out in the round of 8 this year. Why? You can tell by my championship 4. I think Toyota is going to be extremely strong this year. And I don't think Chevy or Ford will really be able to keep up. I can see the Fords being a little bit stronger than the Chevys. But I think at the start of the year, everybody will be pretty even. But as the year goes on, I expect Toyota to get better and better and better. Because when Toyota gets new cars and new teams, they tend to be pretty darn fast. Well, I'm not just saying this because I like Toyota, but that's just that's my genuine brain and gut feeling. So I think Kyle Larson will put up an extremely valiant effort, but I think he goes out in the round of 8. Plus, I've started to notice a trend with Larson. With odd years, he seems to be really good. In even years, he seems to be not as great. I see that in another trend of a driver in the Championship 4 we'll talk about later. But me personally, I think Kyle Larson goes out in the round of 8. And the defending champ I have going out in the round of 8, Ryan Blaney. I can definitely see Ryan Blaney making it back to Homestead, but I just think the 4 guys ahead of him are going to be better this year. I really do. But, man, when it comes to Blaney showed last year that you can just, as long as you make the playoffs, you can turn it on in a heartbeat. Like, his only win that wasn't in the playoffs was the Coke 600. And bear in mind that the Coke 600 is a phenomenal race to win. NASCAR is predominantly mile and a halves, and a 600 miler. Like, hats off to you, man. But like, I don't know. I just don't see Blaney getting it done. I don't see it, to be honest. But I don't see Blaney making the championship 4 this year. I'm sorry, Brian Blaney. If you do make it, rub it in my face. Same with any of these people. But yeah, I just don't think Ryan Blaney will be better than the 4 drivers I have above him. And yeah, going on to Martin Truex Jr. I think we will see regular season, or 2023 regular season Martin Truex Jr. again this year. I really do think Truex will be determined to bounce back again, but I think that retirement question is going to loom over Truex's head a fair bit this year, and they said he's not going to make a decision until like September, and by that time the playoffs are going to start, and you got to get your head in the game, and I don't trust Truex's head to be fully in the game by the time he says, oh, the playoffs are here, it's time to get my shit together. No, it don't work like that, unfortunately. I mean, I think if Truex makes a championship 4, I think he's got a real shot at getting a second title, but unfortunately, I have the 19 team missing the playoffs. Missing the playoffs. Why do I keep saying that? Missing the championship 4. And another driver I think will really surprise a lot of people that I don't have in the championship 4 is William Byron. I don't think William Byron will have nearly as good of a season that he did last year. But what I can see from William Byron is an extremely consistent season. I can see a lot of top 5 and top 10 finishes for William Byron in 2024. But I just don't see him breaking through at Vegas, Homestead, or Martinsville this year. I mean, you saw when the pressure was on him at Martinsville, he damn near lost it, and he was honestly by far the best driver last season, in my opinion. But I mean, he snuck his way into a lot of wins too. William Byron is the kind of guy who's in the right place at the right time, but I just don't see him making the jump to the championship 4 again this year. No Hendrick Motorsports cars in my championship 4, but let's talk about them. Alrighty then, here's who I got in your championship 4. First spot, I think Denny Hamlin gets back to Phoenix this year. His first time at Phoenix in the next gen car, his first championship 4 appearance in 3 years. I think Denny Hamlin works his way back to Phoenix this year. I mean, people can discourage Denny Hamlin and all this stuff, but I mean, I just think off the pure fact of Netflix is around now, I just feel like some good juju's going to come above Denny Hamlin, and he's going to get to Phoenix this year and make Netflix hella rich. I ain't gonna lie. Just think about the Netflix documentary. Imagine all the new NASCAR fans who are going to be Denny Hamlin fans because of that documentary. I know it's going to drive a lot of y'all insane. I really like Denny Hamlin. I really do. I mean, I come from fighting. And fighting, you have a lot of outspoken characters. And I think Denny is playing the perfect anti-hero for NASCAR right now. Let's move on to the next driver. Christopher Bell in the 20. I think Christopher Bell is going to have a great season this year. I really do. I think Christopher Bell is going to be I think Christopher Bell could easily be a 5 or 6 time winner this season. I really do. I think I am that high on Christopher Bell this year. I know he missed the Clash. You can give me all hell for all you want, but I mean, there was a bad tire strategy, and Christopher Bell missed the championship, or the Clash, because of bad tire strategy. Tell me what you want. I don't really care. I think Christopher Bell is going to make championship 4 at Phoenix, and I could see him getting back to Xfinity Christopher Bell. I mean, I could definitely see Christopher Bell winning at Iowa. I think Christopher Bell's going to be really hot over the summer stretch. I think Iowa, New Hampshire, Nashville, I think those 3 races right there are going to get Christopher Bell hot. He was really good at the Chicago Street Course last year. I think Christopher Bell is on for a really, really good 2024 season. I think, personally, he takes the flagship at Joe Gibbs Racing this season. I really do. I'm that high on Christopher Bell. I talked about this in my NASCAR Full Speed video, but the amount of people that sleep on Christopher Bell pisses me off. Like, it really does. He's so good, and people don't see it. Just because he's quiet and chill, like, come on, like, this guy is a talented race car driver. Kyle Larson said a couple of years ago he's better than him. Like, seriously, guys. Don't sleep on C. Bell. But this one speaks for itself. Joey Logano, it's an even year. He's going to make the championship 4. I think Logano's on for definitely a bounce-back season. I think 2 or 3 wins would definitely be a good, realistic target for Logano. Anything more, I think, is a great achievement. He only got that 1 win in Atlanta last year. I could definitely see Logano winning another plate race. I could see him going back to Gateway and winning. I think Logano, especially on the short tracks this year, I think Bristol he'll be really good. But watch out for Joey Logano this year. It's an even year. I mean, he usually doesn't win it in election years, but in the last 2 even years that haven't been election years, Joey Logano's won the championship. So watch out for the 22 team this year. And my last driver in the championship 4 is Tyler Reddick. Tyler Reddick, I think, with the new Toyota and everything and how good they seem to be making, or Toyota seem to be with making new car models and all this stuff, I think Tyler Reddick's going to be in the championship 4. I think Tyler Reddick, he's going to be in the championship 4 alongside his boss. Wouldn't that be a crazy dynamic? I think Tyler Reddick is really going to jump to the next level this year. Personally, I think Tyler Reddick's going to win one of the races to get in the championship 4. He could definitely win at Homestead. He could win at Las Vegas. And I think he can win at Martinsville. I'm more confident in Homestead and Vegas for him than Martinsville. But I think Tyler Reddick is good at all 4 of those, or 3 of those tracks. So I think Tyler Reddick will win either Vegas or Homestead to make the championship 4. And yeah. Who do I think will be the champion at the end of 2024? Me personally, guys, come on. I'm going with Chris Bell. I'm telling you guys, I really do think Christopher Bell is going to win the championship this year. I am that confident in Christopher Bell. I think this is the year Christopher Bell starts a very phenomenal NASCAR campaign. I could see Christopher Bell retiring with 3 or 4 championships, to be honest. I think Christopher Bell is that good, and I think another championship 4 appearance is very well on the cards for Christopher Bell, and I think this is the year Christopher Bell is your NASCAR Cup Series champion. I think 2024 will be the year of the 20 car. Christopher Bell is your champion, and we're probably going to be laughing at this at Phoenix, won't we? I'll do a reaction video after Phoenix, to be honest. But here are my picks for the Final 4, or in the playoffs this year. Make sure you guys let me know who your picks are in the comments down below. I'm going to edit this and going the hell to sleep because I am exhausted. I've worked all day and I feel like a bag of shit. Sorry to swear, my apologies, but anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like for me. It would do me so much good in this state right now. I will say, for context of the whole Gregson 500 pick, I am recording this before qualifying, the duels, any of that fun stuff, so feel free to laugh at me if the Gregson pick goes horribly for the 500. Let me know who you guys got for the 500 in comments below. Yeah, until next time, guys, I will see you probably when the next NASCAR video comes out, which will probably be Saturday when I upload the iRacing series. I'm going to go record that tomorrow. Hopefully I'm feeling better in the morning. And yeah, until next time, guys, I'll see you for the next NASCAR upload. Enjoy the season. Enjoy 2024. Take care. And boys. Well then, here are my drivers going out in the roundup. Oh, edit that out.